Hello everyone, and today I'm playing the Tier 8 War Dogs on Boudica. And it just so happens I'm sick as a dog at the moment. It's winter here, it's that time of year where you just get fucking sick, everyone's sick. It's a piece of shit. So you might hear this weird as hell sound in the background, that's just a humidifier going, so I can fix up this blocked nose. I don't mind the other symptoms of the cold, I could just go, I don't give a shit. It's just the blocked nose, it's really fucking annoying. Let's get into the game. As you know, the War Dogs recently got buffed. If you have ambush up, the strike abilities do not work against you, as long as the trainers aren't in combat. This has really helped the War Dogs out. You can now take on Leo spears and pikes pretty damn easily, as long as you keep those archers, the War Dog trainers back out of the range of archers. There is one thing that does keep War Dogs in the shit pile. I'm not sure if it's a bug or not, but basically, as you can see here, I wait for the War Dogs to attack the Javelins. I'm like, I'm not fucking taking a dog charge for you. Once they have attacked the Javelins, I send my War Dogs in. And now when my allied units start to retreat, the enemy dogs will go through mine, taking that push through damage. And that's one thing, like, if you face anyone who knows how to counter War Dogs, you're going to have a really hard time. Which is why I don't think you'll see much of them in ranked. People are just going to make you push through units and you're fucked. But when you solo queue, you can get away with it in most cases. Now my units are kicking ass at the moment, but those Javelins will just wreck me. So I'm getting those trainers out of combat, I'm on top of them already, get that shield bash, or should I say shield slam, slowing them down and forcing them to retreat. Unfortunately I am a bit outnumbered here, as you can see. Luckily what I'm fighting is Felksmen and War Dogs. I find that the War Dogs do well against both, mainly because of the shield slam ability. Without that, the Felksmen will probably rip you a new arsehole. The Javelins at this stage are trying to retreat, but that Fury charge is devastating, and that's probably why it got nerfed. And it's a mixture of your strike ability with Fury. You can keep on top of ranged units very easily. Unfortunately, you do lose that ability at tier 9 and 10. Which is why I think this is probably the best War Dog unit in the game. Once you level up a bit more, you lose strike. Your strike ability is kind of shit. Without that slow, ranged units can get away from you pretty damn easily. You might be right on their tail, but you're going to be running about the same speed. Yeah, you're kind of screwed. At this stage, since I don't have many War Dogs left, I'm just going to try to protect the ranged units and not much else. And that's what I find the best thing to do. Once you do lose your War Dogs, you're not a frontline unit anymore. Just try to flank for your allies and buff your allies and protect the ranged units. In all honesty, when you are protecting ranged units, sometimes it's just better to let them get charged by the cav. Because if you try to get in their way, especially in the open, in the forest you can block the cav off, but if you're in the open, they'll charge for you and hit the ranged units anyway. It's not very good at protecting range, to say the least, and that's why it's also very annoying when ranged units do follow you. Because you're like, oh dude, neither of us can take a charge. We're kind of fucked if you keep following me. And you probably shoot my War Dogs. Also, there's spears right over there, mate. Right there, see them? Yeah, go hide behind them. That's a good defensive unit. I mean, the Barb War Dogs are decent at spotting, but still, there's way better options. Barb Cav is better at spotting everything. You don't provide that much when it comes to helping ranged units on your team. Now for the good things about War Dogs, you do kick ass when there's no ranged units about. If you're just fighting a bunch of infantry in the forest, especially, you're going to get a good score. And they're also very good at capping. If you can get to the enemy base with some War Dogs still alive, you can send the War Dogs out to stop the enemy from decapping you. Meanwhile, you can sit on their base. Also, since the ambush changes, pikes become an easy target, especially Leo ones. I don't think they got the memo that Shield Bash doesn't work anymore against Boudica. And that's pretty much 3 points right there, can't really complain about that. When it comes to what commander you do want to play, in my opinion, Boudica is the obvious choice. It used to be a tie between Boudica and the Minius, but with the buffs to ambush, it's just a better option. It allows you to actually beat infantry in the forest, whereas Arminius War Dogs is more about chasing after ranged units and surrounding people and getting the flank damage in, which I find Boudica can do a decent job of anyway, because Fury has such a long charge distance and that shield slam ability. But once again, unfortunately, you do not have shield slam at tier 9 and 10. On a bit of a side note, when you are going to enter combat, try not to release all your war dogs at once. I find if you do that, they get surrounded and get smashed, or the cav comes in and just kills your trainers. What you're better off doing is keeping one of the war dog units with the trainers, so any cav does come to get you, you can sacrifice those war dogs. Also, if they try to surround your dogs, you can get a recharge in, etc. And when you do send them in as a giant blob, it doesn't really increase your charge damage, I find. The first 1.5 units that hit usually do a pretty decent chunk of damage, and then the rest just get blobbed down and do nothing. There's been so many times also where I engage the infantry and they have range units behind them. I can fury charge with the one that does have his dogs left, get past the infantry and send them after the archers, etc. At this stage of the game, the reason I'm heading back to base, I'd have fuck all units left. If I go and try to start capping, I'm not going to speed up the process that much at all. If I go back and decap, it doesn't matter how many units I have left, or how many dudes I have left. I can bring them from 90% all the way down to 0 with just a few charges. Also, the units they do have capping don't have pylons. It's one of the rare Roman infantry units with no pylons. If they were tier 6 or tier 8, they could just shoot me, I'd be fucking dead by a mile. Since they are the tier 7 ones, I can just wait it out, just wait until they get their cap up a bit. When your units are this low, there's no point going in early. Just wait for them to build up their cap, and that buys your team a lot more time than just charging in now, dying, and that's it. Saying that, it does look like I'm just going to charge in and fucking die. Not the best idea, but you know, what can you do? Once you have hit them, get that shield slam off, run the fuck away. And it does not look like I'm doing that either. It would be a good idea. I probably thought we had this game in the bag, and then I realised, oh wait, this is actually not as easy to win as I thought. Luckily, I did not charge my other unit in there. There's no point to doing that. What's interesting is you can see a lot of blue down the other end of the field. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, they got archers up on the hill they have to go deal with. And this is one thing I do hate, is when people don't chase the archers off and they just keep trying to cap and they get decapped 24/7. It's like, you could have chased them away by now. Sure, you don't get capping points, but one thing you should know is capping points give you fuck all XP anyway. I'm pretty sure at this stage you get no XP for it. This is me just being greedy again. I saw that other infantry coming, I was like, I'm getting the decap points, I do it too, so so don't do what I do. Do what I say, not what I fucking do, right? Oh god, that's horrible. I'm like, oh, I hate annoying people that keep going for cap points and blah blah blah, and then I do it. Fair enough if you have a chance of capping the enemy base, but when you have no chance of doing it, then you might as well get back out there. Fortunately, these swords have arrived now. There's no chance of them out-capping us. Well, at least I hope not. But I've got a bunch of shit wrong already, so I'm hoping that is the case. We're going to have to find out. Now, let's do a bit of a summary. Basically, I do enjoy the tier 8 war dogs, especially when I'm solo queuing. When you put them into a team situation, though, they don't really fulfill any roles. There's other unit combos that work so much better. That's not saying they can't do well, it's just that they have a lot of weaknesses, and if everyone knows about how they take so much damage when they push through, people can abuse that and you're basically fucked. They are also surprisingly slow. You'd think the war dogs would be a bit quicker, but it does take ages to chase down the ranged units. Basically, they're another jack of all trades, and in this game I find that units that are good at a bit of everything usually end up pretty fucking shit. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.